Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So I had just been to one of the local nurseries and I was surprised to see that there were some succulents. There were around 15 to 20 succulents, the same variety. I think this is also a rubra, but definitely it is a variety of aguides. Now looking at it, all of them looked terrible. They were in a very terrible condition, so I thought I'll pick up one to give you a fair idea of how it tends to look like. You can see a lot of yellowing of the leaves, which means that they have been in the wrong soil mix, and I can obviously see that there is a lot of coco peat in this soil mix. Now ideally when people tend to purchase your succulent, of course you can wait for a day or so and then transplant. Do not leave your succulent in the same pot. A lot of people I have noticed is they buy the succulent and they do not repot it, and within a couple of months the succulent starts to die. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the soil and show it to you what is the soil mix that they tend to use and why do succulents tend to die when you tend to leave them in the same soil mix. So let me take it out, and it looks like the succulent does not have a very good root system. It's completely covered with the coco peat, and of course I think there is a lot of leaf mold as well, and you can see the roots are not healthy at all. There's a lot of organic matter in this, and you can see this, it's not very healthy. There's something going on. I hope it doesn't die. So I'll just take out. The roots are in a very bad condition. You might have seen how my roots tend to look like, and you can see there's so much of the organic matter that is kind of clinging towards the roots. This is not a very good sign. I'll try to clean as much as I can. You can see the amount of debris that are there on this, all of that coco peat and dry leaves that has got stuck to it. And the roots are not in the best condition. Probably this is the largest root, but again it's not in a very healthy condition. Here we have some new roots growing. You can see this, these are the new roots, so I will leave it as it is. I do not want to pull out. Ideally I would have cut off the roots, but the succulent does not look like it's in a very good condition. And you can see this is where there are some more roots growing. The reason is because these roots are not functioning very well. That's why the succulent is putting some more roots over here. Now this is all related with the soil mix that they have used, so I'll just try to clean off as much as I can. Thankfully I don't see any bugs, which is a very good sign. Now if I'm going to show you the soil mix, you can see the soil mix beneath is very wet. That's because this is coco peat, and that's what happens with coco peat. And you can see this is the soil mix that they have used. This is completely leaf mold, or I would say this is leaf compost. And you can see the upper layer of soil was looking dry, but beneath you can see it's quite wet, and the leaves are already starting to turn yellow. Now if this succulent would have been in this for a couple of days, and I'm sure the nursery person would have watered it again, because the upper layer of soil looks dry, but beneath you can see it's completely dark, very organic soil. This is the soil mix you can use for your vegetables or for foliage plants, but definitely not for succulents, because it's very organic. All I can see is coco peat and leaf mold. Even the leaf mold, I feel like it's not completely decomposed. It still has the ability to decompose further. So you can see this, it's just trash that has been put into it. I'll have to wash my hand after this. And there are some sticks as well. So definitely guys, in this type of soil mix, if you're going to leave your succulent, it is not going to survive. It will die in a couple of months. So a lot of people say that they have bought the succulent from the nursery, and within a couple of days itself the succulent starts getting yellow leaves. Now this is the reason why it starts getting yellow leaves. You can see very organic soil, very moist. Even though it's very loose, which of course is good, the soil is definitely loose. It's not very compact, it's loose, but this is not what the succulent soil needs. It's completely coco peat, leaf mold. There is barely any perlite, or there is barely any soil in it. It is just soilless media, which is not very good for our succulent. And considering how the soil is completely moist beneath, if you water it again, definitely this succulent is going to get rotted. I don't know how long this has been wet, but if I'm going to water this will definitely take more than one and a half week for it to dry. Even though in a small pot, this is going to take a very long time to dry, and that's the reason why you can see this one is a little discolored. This one is also, and overall you can see the succulent is not in its best health. It's not supposed to look like this. So I was glad that I picked this up, and some damage over here as well. You can see in couple of days, if you know, this is very easy for mold, fungus, pest attack. It's very easy for them to attack this. There is leaf mold in this which can easily catch fungus or mold. That's why my succulents never get any kind of mold or fungus, because you might have seen my soil mix is very lean in nutrients, very lean in organic matter. This soil will definitely increase the issue with mold, fungus, pest issues, all everything, whatever is possible is going to grow in this, because the soil is very organic. So now that we have cleaned it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it aside, or I'll just find some soil and I'll put it back into the soil, because I do not want to keep it out for a very long time. This is just some dust that is there, but overall the succulent is rescued now. Definitely I'm going to take very good care of it. It also has some stress colors, but we cannot put it out in direct sunlight right now, because you can see it's still very green. It's not supposed to stay that green in between. It should have more of those stress colors. This leaf is yellow. Probably I'll take it out later, but right now I'll make a soil mix for it so that I can put it in one of the pot. So let me fix this up. So I have my soil mix over here. You can see this is the nursery soil mix and this is my soil mix. You can see there is so much of difference. This is the soil mix that we need to use for our succulents, and not this. This probably you can use for some foliage plant, and the foliage plant will do quite well. In fact, this is the type of soil mix I would rather use as a mulch than to, you know, grow a plant in it, because it is organic rich. Apart from that, a lot of leaf mold will work out really well for some mulch in my foliage plants, but definitely not for my succulents. So over here we have our soil mix ready, so we will quickly pot it up. I'm using a small pot. Now guys, what I would say is I don't blame the person who's selling the succulent, because most of these people at the nursery, in my local nursery especially, they are not very well versed with plants. They are just there as salesperson, like, you know, they don't have much knowledge about the plants. Because when I spoke to him about this particular plant, of course he didn't know what variety it is, let alone the care. So I don't blame them. They are just there to sell the plant. They don't have the deep knowledge about what succulent is, so I don't blame them as well. So a lot of times people say that, but the nursery guy told me that it's absolutely okay to keep the plant either indoor. This is something that I hear a lot often. People say that, but the nursery guy told me that you can keep the plant indoor and it's not going to be an issue, and then the plant starts to die. So again, be very careful. They are also very new to this plant. They don't have much knowledge. These plants just come in and they are meant to sell them off, so they will do every bit to sell it off. That's what people in the sales tend to do, because they have to sell the product, so they will do every bit of it to sell it off. They will tell you it's indoor, you can keep it in the bathroom, you can keep it in the bedroom, you can keep it on the roof. They're going to give you all kind of answers. So it all depends upon you. It's your plant. You have to basically do a little bit of research before you buy a plant. Can't blame them. So that's about it. So we are filled with the soil mix. I'm going to leave it aside. As I said, we are not going to be watering it. The succulent already looks like it is overwatered. I wouldn't say overwatered, but the leaves are starting to turn yellow. It's not a very good sign. Probably another few yellow leaves, because it has been getting acclimated. Maybe there might be another few yellow leaves, which is absolutely okay. There is nothing to be worried. As and when the plant will start to recover, it will start to put out new growth. I will definitely make a update video on this, and I'm also thinking of going back in again and getting another 5 or 6 of these plants, because I'm feeling really bad looking at them in the nursery. They are in a really bad condition and they might not survive for too long. If nobody is going to buy them, trust me, probably in 2 or 3 weeks they will be trashed, because they will start to rot if they are going to be sitting in this kind of soil mix. So I might go probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow and get few more of them, so that I can save them, because I really love this particular variety of succulent. It is from the varieties, so it looks absolutely beautiful. So now I'm going to keep it in indirect bright light. We will do a slow acclimation, not right away, otherwise it will get burnt. So it's going to be a very slow process. Not going to be watering it. We will water it probably after let's say 6-7, probably after 7 days, because it's still quite hydrated. There are no wrinkles as such, and the plant will recover. It will do quite well. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.